I'm so mad right now. I can't even breathe. I just ran home from a prayer meeting at my church where we're all supposed to be fasting and praying because it's January. We're supposed to be having a prayer meeting every Saturday to show that we're unified and collectively pray. I don't want to go. I'm not fasting. Nobody really knows that, but because I'm not a bandwagon faster, every January 1st to 21st, actually 2nd to 23rd, so we can all pig out on New Year's Day and then be holy. I don't need a month of fasting to prove that I'm holy. I fasted all last year, 2021. I ran for mayor. I regularly fasted and prayed to get myself through that situation, to seek the Lord for guidance. I don't need 21 days in freaking January to prove my holiness and my devotion to God. Or this kind goeth not out except by prayer and fasting. I didn't even want to go to prayer today. I didn't even want to go. I show up late, really late, slogging in. Everyone's kind of like laughing. They're not really praying. My dad's talking. And I'm like, oh, what's he talking about? Oh, my mom went to the emergency room last night. Nobody told me. Nobody called me and asked me to pray. I knew she was in pain from whatever, dragging a handicapped man up and down the stairs, lifting crap, refusing to sit still, cancer coming back, whatever that could be. I knew she was in pain. So apparently the pain got so bad, my dad takes her to the emergency room. Doesn't call his daughter. No, doesn't call his daughter. Just takes her there. Tells everybody else but me. They go to the hospital. They do x-rays and scans. And the doctor says to my mom, by the by, your spleen looks good. My mom's like, I don't have a spleen. They took it out in my cancer surgery. And the doctor was like, well, it shows here you do have a spleen and it looks good. My mom was like, are you sure you have the right scan? I don't have a spleen. They took out part of my pancreas, they took out a little bit of my colon, and they took out my entire spleen. The doctor's like, I'm the doctor. So they're sending that scan for verification because what? Does she have a spleen now? We don't know. I'm so angry and conflicted. I feel like I don't know who I am and I don't know who God is. I've been in my faith for my entire life. I've had a real encounter with God. It changed my life. There's no going back for me. Whether her spleen grew back or didn't, it doesn't matter. The point is, I have two deeply conflicting perspectives. The first is, I spent most of 2021 and the end of 2020 raging at God, clinging to my hope in Christ, believing God for her healing, standing in faith, and also confronting the fear of her dying, the acceptance that she would die and that if she died I would go on in Christ, watching her. And one of the things I said to God this whole time was like, if she doesn't get healed, then none of us do, because nobody deserves it more than my mother. And I had to really confront that for myself. Because I didn't know that she would get healed, because people die all the time who probably deserve healing. We all deserve it through Christ. Did her spleen grow back? Okay, so if so, then the first thing I have to confront is that this is the unfolding of a miracle that I cried out to God for a very long time. And indeed, everything I said was true. She, of all people, deserves one of those type of miracles. She is that person. And her spleen should grow back. Is God answering that? Is that what this is? Is this the almighty power of God? Being bigger, overriding nature. Which is fine, he's God, he can, I don't care. I've always known that God could, I just never thought God would. I don't know why, haven't dug into that. Is that this? Or is this like a mistake? Is this, they mixed up she'll be in medical journals and on the news if it works, this is what happened. People's spleens don't grow back. That's worthy of a headline. My dad said, we never even prayed for her spleen to grow back. And somebody else on the corner was like, I heard her. She did want her spleen back. She had mentioned she had wished the Lord would bring her spleen back. Did God bring her spleen back? Truly a miracle. And I won't know how to confront that should it be proven true. I just won't know. Because a spleen could grow back. And I'll still doubt that God will heal people. I know I will because I'm there now. I don't even believe it. Even though I cried out for it, even though I believe God hears and answers prayer, when people start to testify about healing, I shut down. I just lock up and walk away, like mentally. In fact, today I physically walked away. Because now more people at the prayer meeting want to talk about their healing and how somebody in Reinhard Bunke's ministry was embalmed and they got raised from the dead and all their organs grew back. Does God heal? 100% of everything in me believes that he does. But I can't reconcile the miraculous, and I can't believe God for it. What am I, a Pharisee? Like, even in front of my face, I still can't see it? God can raise somebody from the dead, and I'm like, it's witchcraft, it's Satan. He did it through the power of Satan. I'm pissed that my parents didn't tell me about this last night when my mom was on her way to the hospital. I'm pissed they didn't wake me up to pray. I'm hurt. Because I'm just never good enough. I'm just never godly enough. I'm just never... Because I'm not in ministry at my church, and that is by choice. I cannot walk with them or sit under them in a leadership capacity. I just can't. It's a ministry kid thing. But because I'm not, the price to pay is that I'm often left out of things that they just don't see me as important enough in the faith to pick up the phone and call me to pray. And I have travailed for over a year for this situation. I poured myself out. And they'll call other people to pray, but they won't call me. And that stings. It stings. It smarts like a bee sting. It doesn't go away. It's always pulsating inside of me somewhere. But I'm not good enough. I'm not spiritual enough. And there's nothing I can do to get to a point where they respect me as a godly person. They'll say they do with their words, but they don't. The actions don't line up. So I was pissed. I was immediately pissed when I showed up to this prayer meeting and my dad's sharing this story. I was like, what? What am I... I don't even know what to say. I was so upset. And then people started to come out with these other... We're supposed to be praying. Hello, we're fasting. God hears you the most from January 2nd until 23rd. Everyone's sitting there sharing this stupid miracle story. Somebody's now someone's talking about angels. Someone else is talking about the glorious singing they heard in heaven before God healed them. And I was like, oh my God. I gotta get out of here. Like, I started to feel choky. I was like, so I literally ran home, ran up here and put my computer on because I don't even know how to share this with somebody. It doesn't matter if God healed my mom's spleen or not. There's a deeper conflict that I can see. And what this last year and a half has shown me from running for mayor and watching and going through this cancer journey with my mom. You know, I'm supposed to be looking to the rock from whence I was hewn, from which I was dug. And I have. But spiritually speaking, I mean, it's been a hard season on every level, but spiritually speaking, I've taken a lot of damage because I've had to confront things that I didn't know were there. Or maybe I did and I buried them and they're just now coming back to life. And I've not been able to reconcile a lot. And I think the most stunning and painful things that I've learned are who I am and who God is. And I think I don't like what I've learned. The more I've seen this last year and a half, the more I've realized how little I know of God, and I feel very distant from Him. Very distant. I'm not fasting and praying at all. I'm totally actually faking it. I'm showing up and faking it. People think I'm fasting. I have a pile of Starburst candy next to my computer. People think I'm getting up in the morning and praying like they are, and I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm not even praying throughout the day. I'm completely shut down. And the other day I was watching one of these recordings from the exact same time frame of last year, so a year ago. And I'm saying the same things. I feel distant from God. I don't feel connected. I feel numb inside. Why am I still here a year later? After all that I've seen and all that has happened, why am I still so shut down? After truly the goodness of God, why am I pissed that we're sitting there singing about it at the prayer meeting? I was like, oh my God, Jen Johnson, again, the goodness of God. It's become the anthem that we all sing. Either I never knew who I was, or I was always this, and everybody else saw it, but I've been blinded to myself. And it's something that's probably held me back because other people can see it in me, but I can't see it in myself. Or this has grown something in me or caused something to develop in me. It's like a breach in the wall. The wall is crumbled in an area that I've not guarded well or something in my faith. Well, this is a serious gap in my faith. The conflict of, I know God heals. I believe it scripturally. I do. But why do I have such a mountain of resistance against healing. Why can't I stand in faith for it? And yet I did. Is this what faith looks like? I did stand in faith for it. I did declare and believe, and I did. And then it happened, and I'm surprised and pissed. The spleen, it doesn't matter. The spleen doesn't matter. I was really mad today. A, that nobody told me about it before the freaking whole church knew about it, which is the story of my life. And B, I instantly rejected it. I instantly was like, no. They mixed up the scans. That's not her scan. It's not her spleen. The cynicism I have toward this is disheartening for me. It's like a head-heart thing. I acknowledge it, but I can't get past it. I don't think I don't know God, and I don't know myself, and sometimes I feel like I'm crazy. I have these weird conversations with God in my head. So today, in the prayer meeting, I just turned to my husband and I was like, I'm out. And he knows, he already knows. He's heard it all before. So I was like, we're telling testimonies of the angels singing. I'm going to be in the bathroom. So I left, I go in the bathroom. And I was thinking, hey, Lord, it's so funny because I was just saying, is there anything that'll make me fast and pray? Now that I'm not running for mayor and my mom's cancer is smooth sailing, what's there left to pray about? And I felt like the Lord said to me, because I have crazy conversations but back and forth with apparently either myself or it is God, or I am just crazy because it's talk to myself. I felt like the Lord said to me, Alicia, your complacency is the biggest barrier to your passionate prayer. You cannot get complacent. Your kids are generally okay. Your finances are okay. They're not great. In fact, everything's slightly above horrible, but it's okay. It's acceptable. And I've allowed that to make me complacent. And someone said to me the other day, when there's food in the fridge, you don't hunt the same way. And I was like, well, that's me. They weren't even saying it about prayer. They were talking about fitness. And why people in January get all crazy and get gym memberships. And everybody wants to lose weight. And by February, March, they're done. They've either lost a little bit of weight, and that's acceptable to them, just enough. They didn't lose the 25 pounds. They lost 7 pounds, and that's acceptable, and they're feeling pretty good. So they cancel their gym membership. Or the financial output and the getting up and the commitment becomes too hard, so they walk away and realize it's just not worth it. And they said, when there's food in the fridge, you hunt differently. And I realized today, there's food in my fridge, and so I'm not really hunting. I'm just going to the grocery store. But the Lord wants me to hunt, I guess, and I'm not. I'm not even interested in it. I'm happy to go to the store and get my groceries. And I don't want to do any work or effort, apparently. I'm not saying I cognitively feel this way. I just am saying that is clearly what my behavior is revealing about me. And so I was like, what am I going to do, Lord? I'm already getting up at 5 a.m. to work on my novel because I've committed this to myself and I really want this for myself. And I felt like I'm back and forth to the Lord. And I felt like the Lord said to me back, okay, give me 5 to 5:30. Your husband's making you coffee anyway. Might as well get up 5 to 5:30. Go ahead and pray. And I'll meet you there. That's the words I heard. I'll meet you there. And I was like, oh, you'll meet me there? Because the last couple times I fasted and prayed, it was blank. 0. Nothing. I'm pouring out. I can't think of anything to say. I'm writing in my journal. I'm looking in the Bible. And there's nothing that you're saying. And so I felt like the Lord was like, I'll meet you there. 5 to 5:30 in the morning. Do it for the next week. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll show up from 5 to 5:30. Where are you going to be? You going to show up 5 to 5:30? These are the conversations I have in my head with God. I clap back constantly to the most holy God. And I know that he's okay with that. I do. I know that he understands me and he knows how to speak to me. If indeed he's speaking to me and I'm not just crazy talking to myself, I'm not schizo. All right, God, game on. 5 to 5:30. Today is Saturday, January 8th, 2022. 5 to 5:30. I will meet you there. What's going to happen at the end of the week? On Saturday the 15th? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe nothing. I'm not even going to fast. I'm just going to pray. 5 to 5:30. I'm not even going to read my Bible. I'm just going to pray. All of this week from 5 to 5:30. And we'll see if that was God. I'm willing to put the work in. Because I do want more of God. I clearly need more of God. And there's something in the way, and I don't know what it is. My mother showed up today to the prayer meeting super late. I don't know where she was. Maybe she was in the hospital. I don't actually know. And I thought, I'm going to stay. I'm going to talk to my mom. And I thought, no, I have to freaking get out of here. I'm starting to feel choky. So I left. And if she got her spleen back, fine. It just doesn't change anything. But why? Why wouldn't a miracle change something for me? Why wouldn't it stir faith in me for another miracle? What is it like to be the crippled person or the person with horrible migraines or debilitating back pain or dying of cancer? To hear those things. I've said it before, I think maybe this goes back to living with Lorraine. Those 10 years that she lived in our home. And she had MS, and she was always being prayed for, and she was always in the little prayer circle. People were always standing in faith for her and stinging her with the bees, and we tried every medication, and I was there a few days before she died, and she was a shriveled up, shrunken human being who looked like a lump of Play-Doh with a head and some sticks sticking out as arms and legs. She completely collapsed inside of herself, and then she died. She died young. She spent the last 2 decades of her life crippled and in pain. And God never healed her. Oh, is it because she's bitter and doesn't have forgiveness? Did she do it to herself? Did she prevent her own healing? Is the day going to come where I'm going to need that level of faith like my mom had to get through this, but I don't have it because I'm too pissy all the time and filled with doubt? Why did the man in the Bible say, I believe, Lord, help my unbelief? Maybe that's what I need to pray. I don't know. Why can't I have faith for a miracle when I see miracles? It's like even like a perverse generation that even needs a miracle in the first place. But for Alicia, a miracle's not good enough. And really nothing is. I don't want to hear other people's stories of healing because I think they make them up. There, I said it out loud. You're lying. It's wishful thinking. It's mass hysteria, groupthink, phony. That's what I think inside. I might as well just put it out there. It's not like God isn't aware that I think these things. 5 to 5:30. Every day this week. Oh, I'll meet you there. I'm willing to put the work in. Because I do want more. I do. I can see there's a barrier in front of me, and I'm somebody who likes to crush barriers. I like to break through them. I don't want to be hamstrung for the rest of my life. And I certainly don't want to pass this on to my kids. I can't even go down the road of how my parents are living. And the stuff that I see, like, in the natural they're doing that I think are counterproductive to healing, to kind of partnering with God in the natural. To him just pounding through and giving her a new spleen. If anyone deserves it, certainly it's my mom. But I hate to say did she earn it, but like if someone could earn it, she earned it in terms of the fact that she's a great person, she's a great lady, she loves the Lord, handmaiden of the Lord, all of it. But I don't believe that she's living in a way that honors the Lord with her body. Like, she's not honoring what God did. But he's doing it anyway? I feel like Jonah. Like, he went to Nineveh and told everybody about God and they got saved and he was pissed. But it's like, he said he would do it. God told him to do it. He did it. And then he was pissed because it worked out. There's me. Perpetually ungrateful and pissy. I don't want to hear someone else's story of faith and what God did. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. My mom doesn't have cancer, and I'm giving glory to God, but also I think I'm just giving glory to the doctors too. Like God used the doctors. Like, that's the path I'm comfortable with. That's the miracle. You don't make spleens grow back. That's outside of my comfort zone. Don't do stuff apart from the doctors. I believe doctors are the way that you work your miracles these days. Anyway. I am just mad. And it's stupid mad. It's baseless mad. But I'm mad. And if I don't get this crap off my chest, I will pass it forward to my family. I will yell and scream. I'll be abusive. I will be impatient. I'll disconnect emotionally from them. I will not clean the house. I won't get dressed. Like, I will exhibit symptoms of abiding anger and depression if I don't get this out. This is the kind of stuff you don't tell other Christians. This is the ugly, hideous stuff that people carry around, or they're numb to it like I have always been. And now I'm raw to it. I'm so raw, and maybe that's a better place to be. Maybe I'm departing from numb, which is what I've wanted, and I'm moving into raw, throbbing pain and rage and doubt and all this ugly that the numbness has hidden is finally coming out. And maybe that's right where God wants me to be. I don't know. But this isn't the stuff you ask for prayer for. And God knows this isn't the kind of stuff I want any advice about. I don't. That's why I'm hiding in my attic, talking to myself. Because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear someone else's experience. I don't want to hear their advice. I don't want to hear their cliche Jesus answers. I don't want to be recommended a book or a study. And if I have to exist in this raw, throbbing emotion, then I'll just get it out. Because I do want God to fill me, and I do want to move into something deeper with God. He knows I have that desire. If maybe this is the next step in the process, showing me what was in there, so I can do the work in the Spirit to get it out. So that He can do more with me. He can complete this work in me that He started. I don't know. I certainly don't want to be numb. But I don't want to be this raw either. I don't know how to get through it. It's another dark valley. I was just writing yesterday in the Way of the Worshipper that He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. And I was talking about how there's not just a work of salvation, there's a work moment by moment, day by day. Every situation is a work. And what we want God to do is we want Him to start the work, not go start it ourselves and then ask Him to complete something He never even started. I asked Him to do more. I asked Him to help. I asked Him to help me and help my family and all these things. So He started a good work, a healing work. He started a work in me. Probably a healing work. A work of withdrawing out decades of buried doubt and anger and resentment toward the church and my parents as pastors and the way I was raised and things I've just kind of shouldered through, I've muscled through, because that's how I am. I just keep going. I'm one foot in front of the other, bootstrap person. And now that maybe I'm leaving numb, I've asked the Lord to help me not be numb. But to not be numb and the feeling is coming back. It turns out it's not like compassion and love feeling that was under that numbness. It's a fundamental rage. It's depression. And it is an unshakable doubt. It's not unshakable faith. That was the numb. And maybe underneath that, the original Alicia, the root is an unshakable faith. I think that's fair. But it's been buried by layers of emotional sediment on me that have numbed me. The only reason I'm even pushing through any of this and I'm not just falling back asleep is because the stakes are high. My mom is still on this journey. My marriage is comfortable. My children are thriving-ish. I'm pushing through and not falling back asleep because I do want more of God. I do want to grow in my faith. I want to grow as a person. I believe my family is worth it. God is worth it. I'm worth it. I don't know how to face the things I'm going to confront, but something tells me this journey is not over with my mom and her healing. Season 2. It's not over by far. I just don't know what it's going to look like if we're... Like, who thought her cancer would be taken away when I would still be here? Certainly I did not think that. 5 to 5:30 every day this week. I will check back in 1 week with you, Alicia. Let's see. You meet God there. He said he'd meet you. 1 week.